We need to communicate about this. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the bride. Somehow, how you take me. Oh no, oh baby, I miss you. Oh no, celebrate. Oh no,
You just keep your hands.
ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Emma, please. Ladies and gentlemen, well, we're finally here. Who would have thought after all of this time, this many people would be allowed in a room again? It's my honour to welcome you all here to celebrate the wedding of Madeline Alexandra Savitt and Lucas Alexander Gomio Kahanovic. My name's Ed, and I will be officiating the wedding with the help of my trusty colleague and my cousin Josh. So, please bear with us. To those of you that don't know who I am, I'm lucky enough to call myself Maddy's big little brother. I've known her for over 30 years, and I am honoured to be here today to help my sister marry, again, this beautiful Polish man. Since they first met on a flight to Asia in 2014, Maddy and Lucas have done so much together as a couple, have many mutual passions and interests, including the likes of their love for food, please. Their love for food and exploring different cultures. Whilst Lucas, I believe, was on his way to Australia and Maddy off to Vietnam. Fantastic. It didn't look like those two would actually get to have a conversation on the flight, because I asked Maddy a little bit about the story, and I quote, "Lucas and my friend were talking shit about marketing for 3 hours." The culprit. But luckily, that chat ran dry, and Maddy had her chance to swoop in. This resulted in these two deciding to spend their layover and their connecting flights together. And in true Maddy and Lucas fashion, they didn't go for a drink, they didn't go for food, they decided to go for a cultural experience making candles. That has got Lucas written.
He still has the candles.
He still has the candles, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but you got mine. You left yours in Vietnam.
You left yours at Vietnam.
I burnt it.
They have taken their love for travelling and have been lucky enough to visit many parts of the world, not recently, whilst also finding the time to buy and make a beautiful house their home. Be successful and loving parents to their dog and my mum's favourite hairy grandson, Ron. Due to the fact that Maddy and Lucas are already married, we will keep this service fairly light-hearted, but of course extremely respectful.
So I think I speak for everyone here when I say how much fun it's always been to, over the years, spend time with Maddy and Lucas and follow them on the journey that they've been on to arrive here today. For me personally, it started at a very young age when Maddy essentially became a sister to the Tingle family. So we've gone from walking home from primary school together to performing all of Maddy's favourite musicals, which I loved as well, to Maddy getting me drunk at Christmas parties, and then finally to meeting Lucas as well and getting to know him very well also. So given how loud so many of us in the family are, I think it speaks volumes to the nature and quality of Lucas's character that he's already become a completely indispensable member of the family. And we've all already got so many fantastic memories of Lucas to share, but we will come on to those later. For the time being, I just want to echo Ed's words and say how proud and grateful I am to be standing here today with the two of you on such a special day. In particular, that you still trust me, given some of my questionable behaviour at the previous weddings that we've been.
If anyone does feel uncomfortable, lady, male, I don't mind, please do let me know. He'll find it. Maddy, Lucas, you have had it harder than most couples should have it. You've had about 15 weddings cancelled. I don't even know what day of the week it is today. To be quite honest, you know, everyone is relieved to be here, finally, to celebrate what is going to be a fantastic day. I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. It's been 551 days since Lucas finally plucked up the courage to ask Maddy to be his wife and to join this glorious family. And we couldn't be happier. I was expecting a bit of a cheer. This glorious family. And we couldn't be happier to have Lucas as one of us. Now this bit's a little bit risky. To all the Poles here, welcome. It's great to see Brexit hasn't affected the guest list too badly so far. If the first wedding was noisy with just 4 of you, I actually dread to think what today is going to be like. And to make you all feel welcome, I've asked a Polish colleague of mine to help me with a little bit of Polish. So I'm sorry about my pronunciation, and I just hope he hasn't put anything rude in it. Siema skurwysyni. Witam wszystkich. Bardzo się cieszę, że jesteśmy tu wszyscy. Dzisiaj chcemy świętować małżeństwo Madeleine Alexander Savitt i Lucas Alexander Budormio kochany. Proszę, bacie, dobrze, the whole thing's in Polish now. Cieszcie się wódką. Ale proszę, nie dawajcie za dużo miłej matce, bo będzie głośniejsza niż mi Shishtir Razek. Apparently that was perfect. Brilliant. Now I'm going to hand you over to my sister Emma, who is going to do a reading about how falling in love is like owning a dog.
How falling in love is like owning a dog. First of all, it's a big responsibility, especially in a city like New York. So think long and hard before deciding on love. On the other hand, love gives you a sense of security. When you're walking down the street late at night and you have a leash on love, ain't no one gonna mess with you. Because crooks and muggers think that love is unpredictable. Who knows what love could do in its own defense? On cold winter's nights, love is warm. It lies between you and lives and breathes and makes funny noises. Love wakes you up at all hours of the night with its needs. It needs to be fed so it will stay and grow healthy. Is love good all the time? No, no. Love can be bad love, bad, very bad love. Love makes messes. Love leaves you little surprises here and there. Love needs lots of cleaning up after. And sometimes you just want to get love fixed. Sometimes you want to roll up a piece of newspaper and swat love on the nose. Sometimes love just wants to go out for a nice long walk because love loves exercise. Pulls you in different directions at once or wind itself around you until you're wound up and you cannot move. But love makes you meet people wherever you go. People who have nothing in common but love stop and talk to each other on the street. Throw things away and love will bring them back again and again and again. But most of all, love means love, lots of it, and in return, love loves you and never stops.
So, thank you, Emma. I would now like to take a few moments just to talk about Lucas and what it is about Lucas that makes him so perfect for Maddy. So, Lucas Bergoglio. A lot of people here would have known this for many, many years, but I became aware soon after Maddy introduced us to Lucas, he's genuinely one of the kindest people that I've ever met in my life. Countless other people, speaking to a lot of other people here today previously, have told me how kind he is, how he's a perfect son, or the near perfect son, brother, and friend to so many people here. But I've also seen for myself on so many different occasions the time, energy, and love that he gives to other people. So, Maddy, for example, I remember Nana telling us how much she and Bumps loved Lucas. And I think in the family, we all know how many stories about Bangor University and Burma that Lucas must have sat through in order to earn this. So thank you very much for that. Although I know that Maddy loves Lucas's kind and gentle nature, those of us that really know Maddy well know that she demands a huge amount more than this. And over the last few years, I've come to learn of the many unique and interesting aspects of Lucas's personality that make him who he are and make Maddy love him so much. So firstly, very much like Maddy herself, and as anyone here who's spent any time with Lucas can doubtless testify, the guy loves to have fun. He has a great sense of humour and he loves to have a party. So he's just become a legend of so many celebrations, parties, weddings and stag do's over the years. Well done, Lucas. But at times he can also be emotional. And I'll be doing him an enormous disservice if I didn't mention the tearful incident and stag do where Lucas fell asleep on the train home, woke up at 3 a.m. at Heathrow Airport and burst into floods of tears. But Lucas is an incredible father to Ron.
Yes. Yeah.
as Ed already said, he loves travelling and he loves culture, which that he also has incredibly in common with Maddy. And it is truly fate that they met on a plane. And from what I hear from numerous sources, growing up, Lucas was also a top Polish dancer, which I know is something that is very attractive to my cousin.
People dance.
We'll see it, hopefully we'll see it later. But Lucas just complements Maddy so well. And he has the ability to calm and relax her on the few occasions that it's necessary. Lucas, we could have really done with your influence a few Christmases ago for the very, very intense games to articulate and the unfortunate incident involving another family member's bathtub. But we won't go into this. It's not But despite the many, many good times and the laughs we've all had with Lucas, or so many of us have had with Lucas, he's also someone who's shown incredible strength and courage when faced with more difficult times and with adversity. So I know this is something that Maddy really admires in Lucas, and personally, I think merits just enormous respect. But most importantly of all, I think, Lucas is someone who has unquestionable integrity. He really is someone who's completely true to himself and knows that he loves. And this is, I think, potentially the most important attribute of all. So well done, Maddy, for finding such a perfect guy. Congratulations. I'm just so happy for both of you. I will now ask Nat to come forward, who's going to read us a poem that she wrote herself called That's a Match.
Words I've chucked together. So that's a match. What joy it is to be with you today. Since you first met, time has flown by. Thank goodness your travels meant you met by chance mile high. Thereafter you stuck side by side, journeying through jungle, sun, snow, or wherever. You bit by bit fed in love and slowly merged your lives together. You integrated friendships and met family, invested in a car with which to roam. You've achieved great things at work and bought a house that you and Ron call home. Today you see you've come so far. Not bad when it all began with a boy from Ealing who met his match and resulted in him kneeling. Now you embark on a new journey. May your travels never end. Keep heading in the same direction, though the track may sometimes bend. As we celebrate together, some loved ones are missing today, ones your hearts will hold on to as you travel along life's way. You're surrounded by your closest and all are wishing you well as you create a brand new chapter in the story that's yours to tell. The journey to today was unsure, constant changes causing a delay. You rightly powered through and we're here to celebrate your big day. Our wish for you both is you always have love and laughter, continue to grow your family, and have your happy ever after.
That was even better than the first time. So well done. Now, I got the short straw and I have to speak about Maddy. I'm very lucky to be extremely close to Mads. So to get the call up today, like I said earlier, has really meant a lot to both Josh and I. And we've spent many an hour thinking about what to say today. We actually met for the first time at about 11 o'clock here. I think it's going okay. Maddy, being my older sister, has always been there for me, like Emma sometimes has also. She's always available for advice, for a moan, for a conversation about absolutely anything. A lot of the time we'll just FaceTime just to put Blake and Ron on. Yeah. We won't even say anything apart from we'll hear that we're listening to the same TV programme, and we'll just quote a few things to each other. Lucas will come in, Heidi will come in. They just leave straight away. There's no point. We just talk rubbish to each other, and I wouldn't change it for the world. There's a couple of different sides to Maddy that I'm sure all of her friends and her family and her closest people around her all know. On the surface, like Lucas, she is the kindest person you'll meet. She will speak to anyone and everyone about absolutely anything, but she's one of those special people who will genuinely be impressed and interested in what you have to say. I, for 1 second, not for 1 minute, could hold a conversation, show interest. If I'm not interested, Maddy is amazing. Now, I could go on and on about Maddy's good qualities, and I've got so many good qualities here. Because of time. Not bad, but a more mischievous side of Maddy. And I think the best example of Maddy's mischievous, playful side can be looked no further but at my own wedding, where Emma and Maddy decided to play a little lifting game, I like to call it. Now, to those who have no idea what I'm talking about, Maddy and Emma are my older sisters. I was getting married, they should respect me. But no, Emma and Maddy, at the most inappropriate times, would run up behind one another, lift their dress, and if they could get a double hand, they'd do the double hand, braiding each other's knickers in front of all of our closest friends and family. This was quite a nice event as well. So this lifting game, it wasn't good enough for Maddy and Emma. Sorry. That's a different game I don't want to talk about. We don't play that yet. The lifting game soon became a pushing game because lifting wasn't enough. They had to wrestle one another to the floor to really humiliate the other. So this was all fun and games until a poor old lady got flattened. And this lady has no recollection of what happened apart from two very sweet younger ladies helping me up and getting me water. Little does she know, it was Emma who pushed Maddy, who went flying into her, who then whacked her head. I expect something similar tonight. You might want to sit this one out. But Mads, you've always been strong-minded, highly opinionated, and that is why we love you. Lucas, you are now entering a life where no matter what you've done, no matter what you said, it doesn't matter if you're right. If Maddy doesn't agree with it, you're wrong. No discussion, you're wrong. But I can think of a better person for Lucas than Maddy. Your personalities really bring out the best in one another. And your ability to bring the best out of one another is why your relationship is such a good testament to one another. You are a couple that I personally love to spend time with, and I look forward to the years ahead where we can form lots of memories with Blake and Minnie Bogomio running through together. It's going to be great. So before we come to the vows, our brother-in-law Ant and Maddy's very good friend Vicky will perform a song called Blood Band.
You said to look at that school. Sat on top of your brother. See how they resemble your one. Even in their past, I ain't no goodbye. That secret that you don't know how to tell. It fucks with your own, and it teases your kid. But you know that it's good, 'cause it's crying with his friend. The stone started falling. You were stuck out in your car. You were rubbing both my hands, chewing on. You said it was just like the present, to each other like this. As the moonlight, we started to kiss. That secret that you don't know how to tell. I'm in love with your voice. I'm in love with your cheeks. What's that noise on the stairs? Is that Christmas morning? I know that.
That's incredible. Thank you. So before we move on to the exchange of vows and rings, Ed and I have a few words of wisdom that we would like to offer to Maddy and Lucas, and we hope that they will take them with them and absorb them before the inevitable vodka shots this afternoon.
Firstly, there have been numerous hurdles getting to this day. So the fact that you two are smiling here today, everyone's here, we're all together, not one person has even mentioned COVID yet. It's amazing. Just take a moment to have a little look around and appreciate how truly special this moment is. You're so lucky to not only have each other, but also to be surrounded by the people that you love and who love you and me. And will always, always support you, no matter what choices you make. Remember this moment and the love and happiness that you currently feel.
Secondly, along with the joy and laughter that you bring each other, there will also be hard times and challenges ahead. So our advice is to celebrate and enjoy all of the good times to their fullest and never take them for granted. But also to remember that it's during the hard times and the challenges that the commitment that you've made to each other and your love for each other is more important than ever before.
Love it. And thirdly, we have a little word of wisdom from Matthew.
Oh.
Who I think is listening.
Where?
Is he? He's probably asleep.
Yeah.
He's on his fourth dessert. So from Matt, wishing you both a lifetime of happiness together and urge you both to remember that whilst there will be inevitable tough times, there will be many more beautiful ones. For every bowl of sour cucumber soup, there will be many rains. For every smoked sausage, there will be dozens of cumberlands. For every pierogi, there will be countless zilong bao. For every cabbage roll, there will be innumerable bacon ones. Innumerable? Yeah. Good.
Crisis there.
For every frown, there will be 1,000 smiles. Love to you both, and sorry we can't be there.
Well.
Okay, now, in a traditional Jewish wedding, this now would be the time that the bride and groom would drink from a cup of wine and receive a blessing from the rabbi before the groom places a ring on the bride's finger.
Do it.
but neither Ed nor I are authorised to give the blessing. So we will instead, before you exchange rings, toast with a shot of vodka. So here's to a lifetime of happiness.
Oh, yeah.
Lifetime of happiness. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Never felt more Polish. I love it.
Seb, who has the rings, I would like to ask now to step forward, please.
Got them?
Maddy and Maddy and Lucas, would you please join me at the front table? Yeah, come on in. So, Maddy and Lucas were adamant that they would write their own vows. So who are we to try and stop them? Oh, Maddy, please. After struggling just a little with the vows at the first wedding, I will take this very, very slowly. Okay. So Maddy, please repeat after me.
Yes.
I,
I,
Maddy,
Maddy,
take you, Lucas,
take you, Lucas,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
I will treasure
I will treasure
my bigomio
my memorial
through sickness and in health.
through sickness and in health.
I am proud to be your wife
I am proud to be your wife
and to join my life with yours.
and to join my life with yours.
I vow to support you,
I vow to support you,
inspire you,
inspire you,
and love you always.
and love you always.
I promise that as your wife,
I promise that as your wife,
I will not keep score,
I will not keep score,
even though
even though
I am definitely winning. Just hold it there. Please hold it.
hold.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love
as a symbol of my love
and commitment to you.
and commitment to you.
Okay, and now Lucas, it's your turn. So please repeat after me. I, Lucas,
I, Lucas,
take you, Maddy,
take you, Maddy,
to be my wife.
be my wife.
I will not take our time together for granted.
I will not take our time to do it for granted.
And because words cannot do it,
Because words cannot do it.
I promise to show you for the rest of my life
I promise to show you for the rest of my life
how much I love you.
how much I love
I promise to make you laugh when things get too serious.
you. I promise to make you laugh when things get too serious.
And I promise always to take Ron for a walk when you don't want to. I give you this ring
Give you this ring
as a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
as a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
Times have changed in a year. Yeah. Well, wasn't that delightful? Ladies, gentlemen, Blake, thank you very much for being here today and celebrating what has to be the long overdue wedding, which has been amazing so far, but it's only going to get better because this will be the last that you hear of us. And now we've got Polish chanting, we've got dancing, we've got drinking, and that is all you need in a wedding.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all you need. There's nothing else for Josh or I to do or to say apart from congratulations to Lucas and Maddy. You're still married. You may now kiss your begonium.